What the Falcons do, rise up. Welcome to Rise Up Reactions, the show where we talk all things Falcons, NFL, Georgia sports, and in general the sports news of the day. I'm your host, Dr. Lee Denning, and boy, today is going to be a sports news day. So, really two kind of stories that have come about here. One of them is much bigger than the other to me. The first one that I think is more important, I'll mention the second one right before we close, but Julio Jones 2 days ago signed a 1-year, $6 million deal worth up to $8 million with incentives with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Really hurts to see him coming back to the division this way. My initial reaction was, yeah, let's go scream into a pillow. Give me give me a toaster, plug it in, and sit in a bathtub. Just didn't feel right for him to be a Tampa Bay Buccaneer, especially now with the news that we are going to have to face Mike Evans, probably Chris Godwin. He's recovering incredibly well, even after a major lower body injury in Week 15 last year. So now they're not sure he'll miss time at all, which consequently would raise him in my fantasy rankings as well, probably by at least a few spots. They're going to have Russell Gage. And then now they're going to add Julio Jones, who may legitimately, at 33 years old, entering his 12th season, be the fourth wide receiver on an already very talented squad, thereby providing Tom Brady with just another weapon. So Tom Brady does incredibly well with aging wide receivers. Again, Julio is 33 this year. I'm not exactly sure when he turns 34, but he's 33 at the start of the season, and he's getting to the point where he's running out of time to win a ring. His best chance probably was with the Falcons in our 28-3 loss to Tom Brady back a few years ago, but we'll see. He has another really good shot this year. A lot of folks forget Tampa Bay almost beat the Super Bowl champs last year after being down, I think it was 27-0, coming back and tying the ball game up 27-27, only for the Rams to get the go-ahead field goal at the end and move on. But it almost ended up being something that people would talk about as the 27-0, just like 28-3 would have been the biggest comeback in history at that point. And it was all, I think, in the fourth quarter as well. So it was eerily similar last year. But again, Julio, I do wish him well. I hope he wins the Super Bowl. I really was hoping it would be with the Packers or some other team, the Packers or the 49ers or some other team that could use, another veteran wide receiver on the list, or, even Baltimore, though I don't think he would want to go there just because of the amount of blocking he would have to do. Instead, it's with Tampa Bay, and I'm really kind of sad by that. I definitely would have hoped he had gone to the Colts to give them a veteran presence and help out Michael Pittman and Alec Pierce and some of that crew, but it is what it is. Really sad to see him playing against us, especially with the fact that we're going to have to see him twice now. Just incredibly disappointing that that's the case. He's going to get a standing ovation when he comes back to Atlanta at the end of the season this year. Tampa Bay is who we close out the year with, and it possibly could be his last time playing in Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, given how old he is. So I do look for Julio to possibly retire in the next 2 years, so I do wish him well. But again, very upsetting from a Falcons fan perspective to see him go in there, but I do wish him well. And again, he's going to be on the team that wins the division almost hands down this year, and they're going to have a very good shot at the Super Bowl. Don't know if it improves them enough for me to change my overall Super Bowl predictions this year. I still think it's going to be Green Bay versus Buffalo. I just think it's going to be significantly more competitive and a lot more of a toss-up with whoever Tampa Bay gets lopped against in the playoffs. But with that in mind, there's only one more thing to say. Eddie Goldman, a guy that I was kind of excited about, former Pro Bowler for the Chicago Bears, only 28 years old, sat out the 2020 season for COVID, came back to the Chicago Bears in 2021, was not quite as good as he had been before, didn't have a great PFF grade, but anyway, comes on to the Falcons for a 1-year prove-it deal. Apparently, he liked us so much, he retired 13 days after signing that contract. So we are now, again, without depth on the defensive line, and we are missing what I thought was going to be an excellent veteran presence. I don't think that's exactly right for him to do after signing a contract. I feel like he should be obligated to finish this year out. I know players do it all the time, but it doesn't sit right with me to end a contract like that, especially 13 days after signing it. So, again, it is what it is. We're not going to be great this year, but again, we may surprise some people. So with that in mind, that's all I got for you today. Let me know what you think about the Julio Jones news down in the comments below. If you liked the video, please consider hitting the like button and then subscribe. It would really help us out a lot. I'm not ever going to tell you to hit the notification bell. I know I'm not that interesting. But anyways, guys, appreciate you. Thanks for listening. And as always, rise up.